Today on JS Performance Shop, we finally get the 5.3 liter into the RATTY C10. I'm freaking excited. Let's go. Welcome back to the JS Performance Shop, guys. Today, I think we're finally going to do it. We're going to get this LS motor in here. I'm going to start first with, this truck actually has a charcoal canister. I'm going to get rid of that fuel line. I'm going to get rid of this fuel line here. It's all going to change with the LS. Once that's done, we're going to put in the pedestals back in for the motor mounts, and I'm going to deal with the transmission crossmember, and then we'll go from there. Should go pretty quick. I'll get you guys in here. We'll take a closer look. Okay, so here's a close look at what we're dealing with. This truck has emissions from the factory, which is kind of strange for a Canadian truck in 1971. But it has it, so it's actually going to come in handy when we do run the LS, because it actually has a return line. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these two fuel lines, these two here. I'm going to cut them down here somewheres, and I'm just going to rip this all out. This one used to go to the fuel pump. This hose is like screwed, super spongy. And this one actually comes up here into this fuel line, and it goes over to this factory charcoal canister. We're going to remove all that. I might end up having to take out this battery tray. As you can see, it's in really bad shape. Yeah, I might take that out and try to make something myself, because they're about $100 and I'm kind of getting tired of spending money on stuff in here. So yeah, we'll get started on that. I just wanted to give you guys a closer look. The cross member for the transmission is also coming out. I might end up just sawzalling it and then dealing with the pieces that come from the top of the frame down. There's a piece on each side to kind of come down like this on either side, and it makes it, it's all screwed up now. I got to see if the tops are riveted or bolted. I'm not sure if I can, if they're bolted, I can unbolt them hopefully, but I'm not sure if the bolts will actually get all the way through. It might be stuck underneath the cab. And if it's all stuck, I'm just going to sawzall it all out, because we got an aftermarket adjustable cross member to go in. Other than that, the only other thing that's really changed here is I took off the throttle cable, because it's going to be an aftermarket one for the LS. And I cleaned up, there was like some wiring for the HEI and stuff. I just got rid of all that, because again, LS isn't going to use that. So other than that, it's pretty much like we left it last episode. Yeah, we'll get started here. Alright guys, I actually have you zip tied up to the master cylinder there, so it's pretty hard to shoot this by myself. There's a clamp here we're going to undo. I'm hoping it's just like a self-tapper style. And then we're going to cut the lines back there, just out of the way. I just want them out of the engine pedestal area. Just get it out of the way. Okay, thank God it is a self-tapper style. We'll remove that. Oh, interesting. See, I think this truck was painted orange at one point in time. Or maybe just that clamp's orange. That's interesting. Kind of strange. So that kind of freed that up. There's another one here. This, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. There's a nut and bolt on this one. And this whole line, it's not needed at all for us now. I'm going to have to get a 1/2-inch wrench. I'll be right back. Okay, 1/2-inch wrench. I got that guy removed. She's been on there a minute, probably since 1971, I would imagine. Of course, the nut is stuck. It's always funny when the simplest of tasks take the most amount of time. There we go. That's all loose. That's also another factory clamp on there. I found it really interesting that this Canadian truck has emissions. It also had what was called transmission controlled spark, or TCS. And apparently it used the vacuum modulator to pull the vacuum advance out as kind of an early spark emissions thing. It's kind of interesting, but also really wacky. All right, so There's another clamp farther down there I might be able to get to. I might actually have to get in here. These lines actually don't feel that great. Oh no, it's moving the whole thing. Okay, I thought it was a little rusty there. This is actually not even hooked up. A previous owner told me something about this. He had a like a vapor lock in the line or something, so he had unhooked that. I think next thing I'm just going to cut them right there, guys. Like I said, these lines aren't needed up here anymore, so I'm just going to cut them right there and then we'll deal with them later on. Just got your typical little tubing cutter here. And typical Canadian Tire, this cutter is kind of a piece of junk. Let's see here, maybe I can do something different. Well, I should have known that Canadian Tire and their stupid Chinese junk is absolutely useless. It's not even putting a mark in that line. It's pretty sad. This thing's brand new. I just opened up the package. I don't want to cut it with a grinder because I know there's fuel in here. It's going to be leaking everywhere. Maybe I can cut them with dikes or something. One sec. Okay, that's that one line out. The dikes did it. Not my favorite way to do that, but at least I don't need these lines. Now this one here, I can already see fuel leaking out. You guys can probably see it down there too. I'm going to try to take this hose off and shove it back on the line once I cut it. I got a bolt block in the end of it there. It's actually not leaking that bad. I kind of crimped it off. Maybe in the end this is a better way to go. Alright guys, I'm just going to leave these lines like that. It's all going to change, like I said. I know I've said that 3 times now. This brake line I'm not crazy about. Someone's homemade dealio here. It's going to be in the way. Maybe we can just bend it. Bend it like so. And hopefully that stays out of the way. It's kind of what it's looking like. I'm actually going to grab the pedestal and see if this is in the way or not. I think this is the right one. Yes, okay. It's actually not that bad. It's touching it a bit. Just gonna give it a little bit of a bend that way and I think we'll rock it. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's out of the way. Hopefully this isn't the way of the headers. At some point I'd like to get pre-bent lines and fix that. I don't really feel like getting into that today. It looks like it's going to strip the fitting. There's a fitting all the way over there. It does not look too healthy. It looks like it's going to strip. And this is just going through the frame. I think that's good enough for now. I'm going to mark where this hole is. We're going to drill that out. I think I'm not going to bother with this hole. I might not be able to get to that one. There's a plate underneath this. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm gonna mark this one anyways, guys, just in case. See if I can get at it. So that one's actually quite a ways off from that slotted hole. This is the hole where the square body mount wants to be. This is the 6772 hole. This side's way off, it's down here. Interesting. I'll get the other side in here. You guys won't be able to see. I'll do the exact same thing. Just mark it. There's no lines or anything in the way on this side. So, should be simple. Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and drill out these two holes. It's gonna start with the pilot drill, then we'll move to the step drill. Drill a bit like the Christmas tree bit. I'm gonna do the other side. You guys can't see. It's the exact same thing. Okay, we're gonna move on to the Christmas tree bit. We're aiming for 3/8. Okay, we got all 4 of our new holes drilled. I'm just gonna fire up the air compressor. I'll probably shut you guys off. It's gonna be noisy and blow all these chips out of here. Okay, I'm gonna tighten it down on these two. You guys can also, I don't know if you can see that, I had to add a bolt here. Both these pedestals only had 2 bolts holding the motor mount on. This hole was perfectly lined up. I don't know why the hell they didn't put a bolt in there, but there's one in there now. This one I can't get one in, so we got three holding the actual engine mount on. And this, hopefully I can get all 4 nuts on. Well, I'll get the top 2 for sure. This one I can see daylight, so I can get that one for sure. This one I'm not sure about. This might be a lost cause. It might just end up being nothing going on there. I thought about for a minute of doing, I have a rib nut too, and I was going to rib nut these. But I don't know if that's the best idea with torque from the motor. I know this shouldn't move, but you never know. And I just didn't know if that was the best idea. So I decided I'm going to try to sneak nuts on afterwards. Oh yeah, every time. You gotta love these ratcheting wrenches. You gotta flip to go the other way. Actually, before I put this on, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. They just had this bolt and this bolt. I added this one. It perfectly lined up. Not really sure why they wouldn't have thrown a bolt through there. Maybe they didn't have any. So I got that done. That's a little bit more strength there. So this is what we're looking like, guys. These top bolts, both sides, are bolted down. Got these placeholder. I got these placeholder bolts in the bottom. I mean, they'll stay there. At some point today, I'm going to jack up the truck to deal with the Crossmember. When I do that, I'll sneak in here and try to get these 4 nuts on. Worst case, these ones might not be able to get used, but at least if I can get this bottom bolted down on the back side, I'll be happy. Extra bolt here now on either side. I don't know why the hell they didn't have any in there. This brake line's all out of the way of the engine mount. I'm a little worried about headers. Worst case, I might just have to redo this whole brake line. This is a homemade jobby anyways. Yeah, this is in there now. Feeling good about that. I think we can move on to that Crossmember. Yeah, I guess it's time to jack up the truck. We'll deal with that. I'm going to give these a spritz of paint. Yeah, I'm going to give these a spritz of paint while we're dealing with the Crossmember. And then we'll deal with this after. Alrighty, I think you guys can see me down here. Got the truck jacked up as high as I could get it, but still pretty shitty. We are going to try to sneak these bolts in. I think I'll take the glasses off. I think I can get. Oh, I might actually be able to get at both of them. Okay, we're gonna give it a shot. I might not say much here, guys. It's got one of those concentrating kind of jobs, you know. I got some like flange nuts. They're actually nuts I stole out of some exhaust clamps I have, so I don't have to worry about the washer. I'm gonna try to sneak them on. Should have brought a light, I forgot. Okay, that one went on really easy. This one up here is going to be the problem. There's no hole here. Well, I might actually just be able to do it. We'll see here. Wish I had a freaking light. I think I did it. I think it's on there. This might be one of these cross-threaded as tight kind of deals, guys, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, looks like it went. Okay, both those went on. I just realized I already brought 2 nuts. I gotta do the other side. So I'm an idiot. Oh, jeez. Ah, fat guys aren't meant to go underneath vehicles, guys. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Artichoke. Okay. Hope you guys can still see me. I'm on the passenger side now. Oh yeah, we'll get all 4 of these on, no problem. No stinking problem. Alright guys, all 4 of those bottom bolts are in now. So all 8 bolts for the engine mounts are in. Woo! I also noticed there's a hole here for this clamp for the brake line. I'm hoping that the hole is clear and I can... Oh yeah, oh, maybe not. Okay, it uses a bolt, nut and bolt. Okay. I will have to grab some. Around. I just love coming in and out of here 45 freaking times. Oh, Jesus. You know, it's times like these, I wonder why the hell I started this. I should have started making like cat videos or something everyone else likes. Be a lot easier. Now you guys can't really see this, but there's just a clamp here. It just holds the brake line. Looks like someone just undid it when they replaced that line. They just left it undid. Okay. Actually, try to bend this line down, guys. It's kind of getting into the cross member. Okay, that looks not too bad. Trying to shove a wrench up there. Man, just think about how many views I get from make cat videos compared to this. Jeez. Why is it ratcheting wrenches always going the wrong way when you need them? Okay. I actually really like it. That'll be okay. Okay, now I'm gonna look at this cross member. Hopefully we got bolts on the top, not rivets. Bolt's missing. Oh, that one felt like a bolt. Missing. One bolt. Okay. Looks to me like we just got... What in the hell? Someone's been in here before. It looks like the world's crustiest nut. I know you guys can't see this at all. How in the hell? Oh, I might be able to sneak. I might actually be able to sneak something in that one. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I know you can't really see this, but to be honest with you, even if I set you up down here, you're not gonna be able to see any of this. Oh, I can hardly see it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a deep socket. There's no way that nuts. There's no way. Wonder what this other side looks like. Let's see here. It's the same deal. There's no front bolts in it. Always a good idea to bring glasses down here, take them off, and then start playing with shit that's going to fall in your eyes. Really good idea. Well, it's spinning. Okay. I have some luck here, actually. Holy, I don't know how the hell. How in the hell are you supposed to get at that? Not happy. We're barely on this nut. Oh, lost my socket now. Get the nuts off. Now the story is, can I get this bolt out of here? Oh my, holy frick. This is like hitting the floor, can barely get it out. Came out. Okay, hopefully we can get the other one out. Okay, I'm back. Over one last time. One bolt left on here. Hopefully we can slide this cross member out. I just want to keep it out until we get the LS and the Turbo 350 in here. I got an aftermarket cross member and stuff, so you guys will see that eventually. Hopefully in this video. Yeah, screw it. I've had enough of this. Grab the saws, I'll cut this. Never gonna reuse this thing anyways. I don't know why I'm trying to keep it. Alright, that's cut out. Okay, cross member's loose now. Should be able to turn it. Hopefully. There we go. Oh, now it's hung up on the e-brake cable. Move all my tools here. I'll come grab you guys and we'll take a look at this and see what I had going on. So I figured I'd show you guys what I was dealing with here. This is the driver's side. This is the passenger side. So this frame rail is actually sandwiches this this piece. C channel slides over top of it. The front hole didn't have a bolt in it. The back one did. Same thing over here, but you can't get at these holes. They're here, I'll kick it over here. They're straight in line with each other, and you can't get anything from underneath to get at the nuts. I got really lucky here. This side there was no way, so I just cut it with the Sawzall. And these are actually separate. These top pieces are separate, but they're riveted. Those aren't bolts. If they were bolted, I could have unbolted it and maybe slid it out, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I was never going to reuse this, because even if we go back to a small block in this truck, I can use the Crossmember I have. I always thought maybe try to save it for someone that's doing a restoration. I know quite a few guys that have these trucks. I'll walk you over here. I'll show you which, let's quickly show you the mount I got. Again, cheap Amazon mount. Crossmember. It's adjustable on either side. Adjustable here. This is all adjustable. It was like $100 Canadian, right off Amazon, powder coated. So that's what we're going to be using. I'm going to jack the truck back up, take these jack stands out, bring it back down, and I think we can bring the engine hoist over, get that turbo 350 bolted to this. All right, guys, we're actually going to jump around a bit. We're going to actually remove the seat. I want to try to run the LS harness up underneath the seat, like have the PCM and stuff underneath the seat on that side. So I want to take the seat out, drill a hole for the harness. I think it should all work. I've been doing some research online. It should be enough harness there. This seat actually folds forward. I'm not sure what year seat. This isn't from the truck. It has scroll and everything, but it's in really bad shape. I've never taken it out, so maybe there'll be some treasures underneath. We'll find out. That side I've already undid. It's got two or three bolts on this side. It's missing some, so yeah, we'll do that and get it out of here. All right. Perfect. Let's see what we got underneath here. Well, there's a loonie. That's what a loonie looks like for you Americans. It's worth about, I don't know, 60 something cents right now. No big surprises underneath here. I kind of thought maybe it'd be a mouse house or something, but looks pretty good. These seat belts are going to come out. They won't work. This side is actually from my old Le Mans. I was trying to get it to work, but it's not long enough with the truck. Oh, maybe that's why the fuel sender doesn't work. This isn't even plugged in. Have to look at that. This is an old Minute Maid bottle cap. Other than that, floor looks relatively solid. I'm going to vacuum this out. I think what we're going to end up doing is drilling a hole somewhere around in here, just underneath this little bulkhead thing, and we'll run the harness that way. Okay guys, I got this all vacuumed out. Kind of interesting. This confirms that this was the original red truck. I think all of this is original, this whole cab. It looks to me like at some point in its life, it had buckets in it, either side. Kind of weird spacing, like there's another hole right there. Doesn't have, oh no, it is here, right there. Kind of weird. Makes me wonder what kind of buckets they had that had maybe out of like a A-body or something, like, or a car of some kind. These seatbelts are going to come out. Like I said, this set here is actually out of my Le Mans. I had a 70 Le Mans back, 15 years ago that I never drove. That set over there came with the truck. It's all screwed up. It's aftermarket ones. At least these are GM. I might have a line on some factory truck ones. Looks to me like at some point someone poured 15 the floor or some kind of paint. There is some on the other side, not so much on this side, But over here, there's actually some orange paint along the side, which is kind of interesting. We found that orange clamp earlier. So I don't know if this truck was painted like a Hugger orange at some point and maybe had buckets in it. I don't really see any evidence of a console. My other theory is that this truck being red and just the way it's optioned was like might even been like a fire department truck. So I wonder if maybe they had put buckets in this with some equipment in the middle or something. I don't know. There's also like some holes up in the, I guess it'd be the B pillar up by where the 3-point seatbelt would bolt. It almost looks like a spot for like a fire extinguisher or something. But all in all, the floor's not in bad shape. This has been patched really badly, actually. They just stuck it right over top. I'm going to cut that all out and redo it at some point. Obviously not right now. And over there has been patched along the side. And then the inner rockers need to be done on both sides. But the actual floor is pretty solid. I'm going to kind of lay out the engine harness. I'm thinking I'm going to end up drilling a hole right here. Either right here or right here. It has to be a 2-inch hole. Maybe right here. And then we'll mount the PCM and stuff once we get to that point all underneath the seat. This is probably going to end up with a 88 to 94 non-headrest low back bench seat. My dad has one in his plow truck. I'm not sure if we're going to get it running again. It has some issues right now. If he doesn't, I'll probably end up buying that seat off him or getting it somehow and putting it in here, because apparently they bolt almost right in, because this is a flat floor, so is an 88 to 98 truck. Worst case, I actually have a 98 full bench. This is actually a really weird seat. It's out of a 2000 crew cab. It's got the nice armrest console, but it's not split. This is a full bench seat. It just sucks it's blue, also I'll just use it. Plus, I don't really want headrests. I want the old school look where it lines up with the back window. This seat's actually really roached. I didn't realize that this wasn't even bolted down. This is disconnected from the side here. It does say, I can barely make out something. There's a part number in Canada. This one's a little bit better. It just says truck back. I know the cars have years. This doesn't look like it has years on it. I don't see no build sheet or nothing. This wouldn't be out of this truck. Anyways, this truck's supposed to have black vinyl interior. This is a scroll, kind of a weirdy brownie, I guess it's brown color. I'll probably end up keeping this seat unless someone local wants one to restore, but I wouldn't mind trying to actually fix it up someday if I end up keeping this truck, which I think I'm going to. Just needs a lot of work. Anyways, I think the next step, guys, is I'm going to kind of lay out the LS harness here. And we'll kind of make sure. I'm really worried that it's not going to have enough harness, like the trunk of the harness, to reach up to the motor if I mount it back here. Originally I was going to mount it behind the glove box, but the heater box is all in the way and I want to try to hide it as much as possible. I'm kind of thinking if we bring it through here, put the motor in, bring the harness down underneath, I'm going to poop through the floor there. So I think what has to happen if I'm going to do that is I need to drill the hole, run all that harness through the hole this way. Be a lot easier without the transmission and motor in the way. I'm going to bring the harness up. I'm just going to like drape it over here, kind of tied up probably with the, get it all the way. But leave the trunk of the harness going down, ready to go. I'm just hoping there's enough. There should be. It seems quite long. I believe I gotta use a 2-inch hole with the rubber grommet. So I'm gonna try to lay it out, then we'll see how it looks. All right, guys, the time has come. I'm gonna drill a hole right here. I'm a little scared, but hey, worst case, we can just patch it over. All right. Got a nice big hole in my 71 GMC's floor. I might regret this, guys, but worst case, we could patch it. I'm actually going to grab the piece I drilled out, just in case. I'm going to grab the file. I'm just going to file this quickly so there's no sharp burrs. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard, eh? Start funneling this harness through here. Might as well. Actually, first I'm going to grab some black paint. I'm just going to give this a spray, kind of protect it. Okay, this is actually high heat barbecue paint I get at the surplus store. It's like $3 or $4, but it works pretty good. Good for stuff like this that no one sees. I know this is probably not recommended, but it's pretty cold outside. It's actually going to warm this up a bit. Yeah, apparently barbecue paint's way more flammable than engine oil. It's hard to see on camera, but this, you can actually see it drying. I know this probably isn't the right thing to do. Probably the paint's not going to stick that well, but I'm just trying to cover up that cut. From what I understand, this whole harness has to go that way. So obviously this fuse block and stuff won't fit through. Okay. I'm gonna go slide that lid I have in there forward. Try to get some of that slack. Now we just gotta work this grommet. Good, now the last harness is installed in our truck. Grommet's nice and tight. It's a 2-inch hole. Fit good. I'll get you guys in here, we'll check out what's going on. Okay, so this grommet fit really nice. It's in there for sure. It's all their connections for the computer and stuff. They'll all go underneath the passenger seat. I put this tray down here, this lid, just to keep most of the plugs out of the dirt. I still got some of them over there. I'm gonna grab this, pull it up. Oh, I see it got hooked on the back side of the brake, e-brake. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna bring it up through here, just drape it over here. Hopefully that all works. Hey, okay, we're back at it again today. Today's the day. It's the only day I got to get this 5.3 liter into my 71. Supposed to be done last week, but I got sick on the last day I had, and I was busy yesterday. Today's Sunday, so back to work tomorrow. Just got to get her done today. Since we've been out here, it's been about a week. We went from minus 25 to 30 to, I think it's plus 10 today. So now I got this problem. This is all flooded down here, and we'll just deal with that. It happens every year. Problem with having an old 1960 shot. So anyways, yeah, we'll jump right in. We got to get the turbo 350 bolted up to the 5.3 and slide her in. I think we're pretty much ready to go. All right, first things first, we got to get this torque converter slid onto the turbo 350. I'm just gonna, since we've got a new seal on there, I'm just gonna lube up the just be shaft, whatever you want to call it here. A little bit of lube in there just so it slides in nice without ripping that seal. This isn't what I would run in the transmission stuff for my Dodge, but it's good enough just to lube this up and make a big huge mess. I'm kind of an idiot, a little off today. Yeah, so we'll lube this up, slides on there nice, and I'll wipe that up. You gotta forgive me, guys. I'm a little off today. So this torque converter still has fluid in it from when we pulled it off. I'm just gonna leave it. It was pretty clean. This little brake clean action. lube this up again just in case that brake clean took it off. Just need a little bit on my finger. Not over the floor, just on my finger. Just in case you guys haven't seen other installations, you push this on, we slide it on, turn it, and it should click 2 or 3 times. You're trying to spline this into the pump of the transmission. Sometimes it'll be 2 clicks, sometimes it'll be 3. It just matters where everything is lined up. This is just a stock converter. I would have liked to gone to like a 2500 stall, but I just don't have the funds right now, so we're just going to use this. Plus, I don't think I'm actually going to be keeping this in there long term. It's what I have now that works, and I know it works. So we'll use this for now, and then hopefully I can get like a 460 or 80 in the future. Slide it on. Give this a spin while pushing. It's 1 click. 2 clicks, 3 clicks. It's seated into the pump. You can tell it slid all the way back. Give it another couple turns just in case. You can kind of feel it engaging the pump. So that's good. All right, I'm just gonna give this a quick brake clean. Just got spider webs and dirt and crap on it. See, just dirt. Okay, next order of business, I'm going to get my hip waders on, way through here. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to take this motor. This engine stand wheel's a little screwed up, so I'm going to take this motor, slide it kind of 45 degree here, set up the engine stand. We'll get this lifted up off the stand, and then we'll deal with the flex plate and the transmission. Before I do that, I forgot I have to take the chain off the transmission, so I'll do that quickly. It's just that chain we put on from that other video. Just gotta find my little impact. Kind of a mess in here. Maybe I should have worn hip waders. Jeez. Okay, got a chain. Oh, I'm gonna take these headers off. I don't want them on while we put it in. I think they're 12 mil or 7. No, I think they're 12 mil. Okay, let's give this a turn. And that one wheel's ready to pop right off. Stand's a piece of crap. What I really should do is get one of those LS lift plates. I don't do much LS stuff, so I don't have that. Okay. Send you this over. As you guys can see, this is how uneven my floor is in here. The whole shop is actually sitting like this. All the water pools at the back. I really need to get one of those air cylinders. Be a lot easier than sitting here doing this the whole time. Okay, give her that little snatcher up here. Okay. Okay, I think these are like hardware store bolts. So I think they're some weird like 17 mil or something. Take those off. Okay, guys, what I got here is a cheap 5 flex plate for a Turbo 350 or 400 off of eBay. Seemed to be pretty decent quality. It came with the little adapter ring thing that sits in the crank. I gotta find that after I put this on. We'll go ahead and install this. It also came with like 12-point bolts. This being a cheap Chinese thing, I'm going to use the factory bolts. I trust them better. Alright guys, I almost had a little bit of a panic attack. I couldn't find this stuff. This ring needs to go on the crank here. It's machine fit. Fits nice and tight in there. And then the snout of the torque converter right here will ride inside this ring. It's machined out for it. And these were the bolts that this kit came with. Who knows what grade this is or what the hell's going on, so I'm not going to use these. It did come with bolts for the torque converter to the flex plate. I probably won't use these either if I can find some factory bolts. They are flanged, so I might end up using these that they came with it. This again was off eBay. The flex plate itself seems pretty nice. Of course, they say it's SFI certified, but there's no stickers or nothing. I wouldn't believe it. But for this cheap truck, I think it should work okay. I always like using factory fasteners instead of the Chinese ones. They're always going to be better quality, guys. Those Chinese ones, who knows what the heck strength they are. Kind of like putting it on a wheel. Kind of do a star pattern and suck it on. Okay guys, I'm actually going to shut you off because I use my phone for recording. I'm going to look up the torque spec. I think we're probably okay right now, but I just want to double check. Okay, we're going to go ahead, slide this puppy on here. I got a couple of the factory bell housing bolts. You can tell GM bell housing bolts Tell GM bell housing bolts because they got that stud on the end. I might not use these at the end, but I just know they'll work for right now. You slide through the Turbo 350 as well. I actually can go ahead and put some gloves on. I'll just swim over to the friggin' bench here. And, yeah, we'll slide her on. It's a little heavy. I think they're 100-something pounds. I just need to get it on one dowel and then we'll slide. Alrighty guys, I didn't realize that my camera kind of ran out of space there. Transmission's all bolted up. I use these factory LS fasteners. I'm not even 100% sure what these ones are for, but I didn't want those studs sticking out, just in case we get close to the firewall. Had to use one with the stud for the dipstick here, and then another flat one down there. This hole isn't used on LS, it's not tapped, so nothing there. And we won't be using the top hole because Turbo 350 doesn't have a spot for it. So that's all installed. I am going to jack the motor up, swing it kind of over, and then we'll bolt up the torque converter while it's out. It's just easier. The less work I got to do underneath the truck, the better. I like doing it outside of the truck. I'm probably will install the starter after that, and then we'll slide it into the truck. One other thing I had to do is the dipstick was hitting the head, so I just bent this mount, bolted it on, and then just kind of grabbed the end of the dipstick and kind of just gave it some clearance between the head there. It's all good now. Yeah, other than that, the Turbo 350 bolted right on. I still don't know what to do about the kickdown cable. It might just get left behind the intake for now, and I'll just downshift. Like I said, I don't actually think this Turbo 350 is going to stay. It's just what I have for now. And honestly, I'm working with a limited budget, so you got to do what you got to do. So we'll go ahead and yeah, get this motor swung over and get the torque converter and starter bolted up. Figured I'd show what I got going on here. This is a fine thread bolt, and I got a really thin fine thread nut. I got a washer on either side, and I've obviously got the torque converter bolted up. With this flex plate I have, it uses this set of holes that don't have a flange on them. Let's see if I can get the crank to move here. That there is for something else. I'm not sure what. Maybe a Turbo 400 or just a different torque converter. So it's actually using, one second, I'm trying to do this by one hand here, guys. It's using the other set that's a little farther in. This is just a factory torque converter. So some torque converters will actually have like a nut kind of thing welded to it, so you don't have to worry about having a nut on the back, or they have a different kind of, you got more room. I tested this, you could get a regular size nut in there, but this one just seems to fit a little bit better. So I'm actually gonna go ahead, now that I got all three of these bolted up, I'm gonna go ahead and actually undo them one at a time and put Loctite on them and cinch them down. Should be good to go. Okay, bolts are all tightened down. Probably can't see, but there's Loctite on them. Gotta make sure these bolts are tight, and I would definitely put Loctite on them, even if they do screw into a boss. You do not want these coming loose. It can create a lot of damage, a lot of noise, crack flex plates. Yeah, just make sure they're bolted down solid. This one's all good to go. When we put the motor in, I'm gonna take this bolt out, obviously. I'm gonna leave the slider mounts loose like this. And then maybe we could slide the motor back and forth. I know with weight on them, they're not gonna slide very nice, but I think I could tighten these down once they're in the truck, I believe. Okay guys, I ended up bucking the ear off the side of the Turbo 350. I test fit the headers, and good thing I did, because the one pipe was laying right against here. So I think it would have cleared, but I decided I didn't want to take a chance. So I just bucked this off. I'm probably not going to use an inspection cover anyways. And I also decided not to put the starter on for now. I'll have to do it when it's in the truck, because I got to plug in the crank sensor, and I got to wire up the starter, so might as well just leave it. I think we're ready to actually try to shove this in the truck. So I'm going to get you set up on the tripod. We'll slide her in. All right, guys, the time has come, finally, to put the 5.3 and the Turbo 350 in the 71. I know it's been a long haul. Thanks for sticking with me. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get my swimming trunks on and go for a swim in there and try to get this crappy Princess Auto engine hoist up here on my uneven concrete that I got to swim in. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get it in here. I'm going to jack her up first. Okay, that's as high as the engine hoist goes. I'm going to slide it forward, and we're going to have to drag the transmission over. Just going to slide some bolts in the engine mounts if I can. Try to get this all leveled out. All right, guys, great success. 5.3's put in. It's just sitting in there for now. I got a new trans Crossmember that we're gonna slide in. It's an adjustable one. Typical Chinese quality, these bolts you can't put in through the same way. The flange hits each other, so I had to stagger them. This is adjustable. I just kind of squared it up as best as I could. Honestly, you can get this exact same Crossmember with the trans mount part welded on and not adjustable. I'd get that one again. I think it's even 10 bucks cheaper. It's all nice and slotted here, but it didn't come with hardware, so I'll have to dig through my stash and find something. I had to cut the exhaust, where the collectors bolt up. I had to cut it back because the headers are going to hit them. I might have to get just all new exhaust, to be honest. Do something different. But it is in. I think it's where it wants to be. It looks fairly square. It's kind of deceiving because the frame rails actually bow out on either side, so it's kind of hard to guess. So I just kind of used some notches on these plates. I just kind of lined up the notch to the washer, made it the same on both sides. And in my opinion, if everything else is square, that should be fairly close to square. These plates worked awesome, bolted right in. This, you guys will see me struggling in the video, but this engine mount, I had issues getting the old bolt out with the small block even, so I think I should have replaced this engine mount, but I didn't. So anyways, it's in there, and I'm going to climb underneath right now, get the trans Crossmember in. I think I'm going to have to lift the motor back up. Well, I'm going to have to pull the engine mount bolts out, like just the ones that go through. lift the motor up and kind of pivot it to get the header in on this side. The other side should be okay, it looks like. It just hit the exhaust. So I'm going to go ahead and go underneath, get the cross member probably loosely bolted in. And then, all right guys, I got the transmission cross member installed. I ended up having to flip that bracket there upside down just for the transmission mount I was using. And then I just put 3/8 hardware through here, and I'd use some bigger washers on the top. The holes on the cross member were a little wide. Now we're going to head back up top. I'm going to try to get the headers on. All right guys, I got the headers on. These were those stainless eBay headers. Bolted right on actually. This one I got from the top, just slid it right in. This one, when I had the truck jacked up, I slid it from the bottom, came right up, no problem. Used those Remflex graphite gaskets, bolted them on. It's looking like everything's gonna work. I like where everything's sitting. Freaking, I'm excited. The freaking LS is in the truck finally. So, all right, guys, that's gonna conclude this video on JS Performance Shop. I'm excited. The 5.3 is finally in the 71. It's been a long haul. Thanks for sticking with me. Now that the weather's finally warming up, we can actually continue to do stuff out here. So, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.